Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to Kelowna, British Columbia. We're live at 189 Eatery.
Woo woo!
And my name is Ming, Chen.
Coyne.
Norm Coyne is on camera now, everybody.
Dude, usually they try and keep the camera off me.
No, come on, man. You always look like a rock star, man. You got like the Bono glasses on.
Yeah,
you got like the Billy Idol haircut.
I've been going for James Gunn. That's what I'm working on.
And if not James Gunn, then Sean Gunn. Yeah, which
one of the guns.
Yes, which both of them, either of them will probably come out to any of your conventions. For sure.
I believe it. I believe. Well, I mean, we've been offered Sean Gunn before, but there's no way James Gunn is coming to Prince George.
I disagree.
Yeah?
I think he would.
Challenge accepted.
I think
James
he would.
Gunn, if you're watching this right now, we invite you to Prince George for Northern FanCon.
Yes, and James, why just stay and film a movie out there while you're at it? Very scenic place.
There you go.
Great location. Crew. You got great crew. You got equipment.
Amazing crew. Yeah. Well, you've actually been up there. You've experienced that, right? Because like we did our sizzle for Festies.
Yes. We shot a number of things in Prince George. Yeah,
we did actually.
British Columbia.
Yeah.
It's a great filmmaking destination. Yeah. Shot a sizzle reel for something that you may see in the future called Festies.
We're hoping.
Something, everybody's been like, oh, you got it. You travel so much, you go all these kinds. You should do a TV show. It's like, all right, let's do it.
Yeah,
let's do it.
Yeah. So we were lucky because Bob Bloomer was part of that, right? Bob's the one who directed it, right?
Bob directed it. Yeah.
Yeah. So Bob Bloomer from the Food Network, who is a fun and fabulous dude with like a zillion music stories and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. I mean, like if that popped, that would be pretty amazing.
Yeah, and then we shot a short there called Conquest.
Oh, of course. Yeah. What am I thinking? Yeah,
which
of course.
is taking over the film festival circuit by storm. It's on almost every film festival out there, and then all the ones that are associated with Comic-Cons. It's at every one of those because it was in fact shot at a Comic-Con over the course of 3 days, it's. I don't know how you pulled that off. I really don't.
During the actual Comic-Con.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
I can tell you this. I think we made a bunch of vendors mad because there's the DOP that actually worked on Conquest. So Conquest, for anybody who's like...
Yeah, tell us about Conquest.
Just tuning in. Mm-hmm. The conceit of Conquest is it's about an incompetent intergalactic conqueror who crash lands at a Comic-Con. And he wants to dominate it before his counterparts arrive.
Yes.
And and you are one of the conquerors.
I am one of the incompetent conquerors. Go figure.
No, you're one of the competent conquerors.
I'm the competent one. The incompetent one that's crash landed on planet Earth.
Yeah, so
at a con, but with all the stuff going on at a con, he may misconstrue that's what life is really like. And in our worlds, that is what life is really like, which makes it even funnier.
That's con life, man.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, like it world premiered at Fantasia, which is huge. That's where Quentin Tarantino, Guillermo del Toro, Kevin Smith, they go. James Gunn.
Yep, James Gunn.
They go there to premiere films.
Yeah.
That's where it premiered, and it was a great reception. And now, flash forward to it's like the sweet spot has become. It's screening at Comic-Con festivals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and people were loving it. I've been at a couple of them
good.
when they're screening. It's at several film fests. I'm close with the Hanging On to Your Shorts Film Festival and the Brightside Film Festival.
Oh yeah. All these guys, all those West Coast or East Coast guys.
Yeah, I do. I do have to mention it was not accepted at the Smodcastle Film Festival, and I'm still a little miffed about that. Listen. Ernie O'Donnell is the major film programmer over there, and he's got a particular taste. He knows he's got something else he's looking for, and I mean, it's well within his rights to accept or reject a film. However, I'm here to put on the record. I think he made a grave mistake. I'm not. That's just what I think. So.
Yeah, I mean, like that's how it goes. Though, I mean, you don't get into every festival.
Not everything has to be, the piano or Gone with the Wind.
It's like the piano is probably deep cuts for people.
Right.
Right. Like. That's what year was that's in the 90s.
It was in the 90s. Yeah,
and that's Anna Paquin. Did Anna Paquin win an Oscar for it?
Anna Paquin did win an Oscar.
Dude.
Somebody other can.
And is that one of those films where there's like a full frontal of Harvey Keitel?
Somebody correct me on that too, because I saw Bad Lieutenant, and my eyes were
That
scarred
for sure.
from
That for sure was full frontal.
for sure, yeah.
Bad
yeah.
Lieutenant.
Also, Oscar winner, Bad Lieutenant. No, it didn't win an Oscar. Did not win an Oscar.
An
Bad
Oscar.
Lieutenant. Yeah, not an Oscar maybe. Yeah. But listen, the piano, great film. But
Oh, an amazing film.
Come on, when was the last time you watched The Piano? Like, do you watch The Piano over and over because you love it so much? No,
You only have to watch The Piano once.
no. But Conquest, that's something I watch
Over and over and over. I
again.
mean, I think I've watched it personally probably about 100 times.
Yeah. And not only that, if you've ever been to a con or you're a geek, you'll relate to it immediately. You'll love it immediately. So if you see it at a film festival near you, go and check it out. It's showing at a lot of film festivals, con film festivals coming up, correct?
Big time. Actually,
do you
as
remember
part
which
of the...
ones?
I don't remember off the top of my
It's so
head.
many that you can't remember all of them, but do you remember maybe 2 or 3 of them?
Yeah, well, I do know, like, it's Geek Fest.
Okay.
So Geek Fest is, for folks out there that maybe don't know, Geek Fest is, they are sort of they do a festival for a whole bunch of Comic-Cons.
Yes.
And so it's a very, very sought-after festival to be a part of. We are part of their 2024 lineup.
Oh, cool. So they're kind of like their traveling slate.
Yeah. So, I mean, like, basically en masse, that means that we're going to be, as part of Geek Fest, screening at half a dozen, at least, film festivals that are at cons.
Yeah, Geek Fest is great. I'm actually one of their advisors. So.
Are you?
Oh, yeah. For
You didn't
sure.
get us in there, did you?
No.
Did you, like,
well, I mean, I'm sure it
plugged it?
didn't.
You're
I'm
like,
sure it didn't.
hey.
I'm sure it didn't hurt, but they weren't like, "Hey, what do you think about this?" You got in on your own merit, though. Like, no nepotism there.
It's funny though, because I was looking at the people that are attached to it, and I'm like, Gigi Edgley is one, and I'm like, oh, I know Gigi, so
You know
she's
Gigi?
like, hey, that's
She's
these
on
guys.
there. Our friend Jackie Dallas is on there, who was in Stranger Things, and
Oh, yeah.
also goes to my number of conventions. But yeah, they, and we all met each other at cons, so they know our tastes and sensibilities. and what we're into, and how we like seeing the world. So.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Honestly, it's like, this film has had like a really healthy life, and it keeps going. And we actually got a grant to adapt it into a full-length feature.
No way. So I may be on screen again.
Well, that's what I mean. You're gonna have lines this time.
Okay.
And now that you have your SAG-AFTRA card,
Right.
That's actually a big deal. Once you get the lines.
Yes. Well, you get residuals, and get bumped up into another pay grade too. Which is
Have you had a gig since you got your card?
I did a short. It was a student short, so that one didn't count. And did I do one afterwards? I sound like I've done so many I can't remember, but I haven't gotten a SAG gig yet. But
oh man,
it's coming.
This might be your first.
It's coming.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah, but I think Conquest kind of launched me into another stratosphere though. So after I did that, I got cast as an Asian gang member in a film shot in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Our friend Alejandro Montoya Marin shot a movie, which will be coming.
Was it genre, or was it like straight up just like a drama?
No, it's a pretty it's a action comedy, I want to term it, but with a couple twists. So
nice.
Yeah, for sure.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah, it's called The Unexpected. So it should be out later this year. But I got to get in a really ridiculous Asian gangster outfit, and
it was lines.
Yeah, lines.
Oh,
so I think it might
beat
be
us to the punch.
Maybe the role I was born to play, Norm.
Yeah.
Yeah. In the end, you come out of the womb Asian. What do you want to do? You want to be in a movie. If you're going to be in a movie, well, what do you want to play? It's like you want to play an Asian gangster. So,
Classic.
Yeah,
Classic.
for sure. And but the one that got me in was Kevin Smith's new movie that he shot and has wrapped called the 4:30 movie.
Okay, I saw. I was watching this on.
He quietly shot it. He got a waiver to shoot during the strike. And,
I remember hearing.
But he
about
kept
this.
it very quiet, just in respect to anyone who wasn't working.
Yep.
And completed in, I think, 21 days in last September, and should be out soon.
And so they shot that in his movie theater.
They shot that in his movie theater that he bought 2 years ago. How smart is that? It's Kevin Smith, guys.
Dude, that guy is massively he's one hand feeds the other, and he connects the dots in all the best ways.
Yeah, and he shot it for a pretty low budget, and but more importantly, the story. It's based on his life, a very personal time in his life, And when Kevin does that, it's gold. So
Yeah.
let's list the other stories that were based on his personal experiences of his life. Clerks, Mallrats, Chasing Amy, Dogma,
All beauties.
all Kevin Smith classics. So,
Yeah.
And the cool thing that Kevin does is as he shoots, he's editing as he's shooting. So the Rat Party was the Rat Party, but it was also a screening of a rough cut.
No
of
way.
the movie.
Wow.
Yeah, he had put together.
That is crazy.
About 45 minutes to an hour of cut, coherent footage from beginning to end.
That's
And
wild, man. That is something you would never see.
No, but the man doesn't sleep.
Yeah.
And a lot of people are like, man, you act like you don't sleep. I was like, you know where I learned it from? I learned it from Kevin.
Wow.
Yeah. So he'll shoot all day, and then on that he'll go back to the editing bay and start cutting that day's dailies and scenes together, and then at the end he's got a rough cut of the movie. It's pretty brilliant.
Dude, that's wildly productive.
Yeah, like he loves it that
Wildly
much.
productive.
Yeah, and I think that's a good way to do it. He's got the scenes fresh in his mind, everything he saw that day. Like, why wait 3 months later to actually before
You know what?
saw
I mean,
that?
it makes the most sense ever for the director to also be the editor, because an editor by default becomes another director.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, yeah.
So that's
the
awesome, because
editor
then he has like he's got the full suite.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah,
Yeah, the editor can completely change the director's vision based on the cuts.
totally.
They have that power, but so that's what you don't want to happen. Yeah. So I think he learned. He edited Clerks, Mallrats. I think they had another editor, but they were in the room with them. And then I think after Mallrats, like, I'm gonna edit all the rest of my films myself.
And that's like, but I mean, like at that point, it was like old school too. It was like it was on like the old sort of like editing.
It was called a Steenbeck. And you would have to actually take like a razor blade and cut.
Shut up! No, you're bullshitting.
And then
me
you
right
would take a piece of tape, and that's how you edit it. Yeah.
No.
Before
that's
Final
that's
Cut.
in the 50s.
No, it was
He's like on like what are they called? Avi, not Avi.
the Avid. Yeah.
Avid. Yeah.
No, that was pre-Avid. Yeah. I mean, the Avid didn't get really popular until mid '90s. So.
Shut up.
And then came Final Cut Pro later in the late '90s, and then Premiere kind of overtook it. In the 2000s. But because he shot on 16 millimeters, so
unreal.
They didn't have the budget to transfer that to digital and edit, and they did it all in a thing called a Steenbeck, and I think that probably made him a better editor. For sure.
Dude, like that's crazy. Yeah. And have you ever edited? Like, do you ever do? Because obviously you have your podcast stuff.
Yeah, I've edited some short clips and stuff. I've edited other people's footage, and honestly, I hate it. I hate it. It's so time consuming. So I'm a guy who wants like immediate, like awesome results.
Yeah.
And editing, like you could slave away for 3 weeks on like 30 seconds and still not be satisfied with it.
It's funny because like I've been editing a bunch of stuff lately, and I hated it.
Yeah.
I used to hate it, but now I'm like I appreciate nuance.
Yeah.
And I appreciate just like little moments, and I find it's like I don't know. It's like almost like therapeutic. You just sit there and you're just like playing around with it, and but I can see how people would like fall into a rabbit hole where you just get stuck editing and editing and editing and editing.
Oh,
you gotta let it go.
It was never perfect.
Yeah.
And then it's like, does this look good? I don't know, but meanwhile, it's like it's awesome. It's great edit. Yeah. Marco a true artist for sure.
Oh, dude, big time.
But any editors out there, much love and respect. These guys don't see sunshine for like 2 months, but I think like the editors, like guys are really into it. They really love it. So
yeah.
I'm more like, can we just throw it up like this and like it's perfect? And no, it doesn't work like that.
I mean, sometimes it does.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. So after this, so tomorrow we Okanagan Cards and Comics. Tonight we're at 18-9 Eatery. Thank you for lining those up. Your town here, Kelowna, is beautiful, and it is National Sourpuss Day.
It is National Sourpuss Day.
Yeah.
And I'm happy to connect the dots for you. Like, like when we first started talking about how, like it would make. So Ming basically was just at an Alaska. What is it called? Alaska Comic-Con?
Arctic Comic-Con.
Arctic Comic-Con.
Anchorage, Alaska.
Yeah. So we started talking about. Well, I mean, like it would suck to go from Anchorage back to New Jersey, and then have to come back to BC.
Right. Which is
so. So he's like, well, you know what? Like, you've been telling me lots about Kelowna. I'd love to come and check it out.
Yep.
Is there a world in which, you know, like you could just like see if there's a couple places to plug me into?
Yeah, maybe a comic book shop. I would love to go to appear over there, or
Yeah.
anything geek themed. I would love to come and. So yeah, you set it up. So thank you very much.
And here we go, right? Like
Yeah.
that's you know, happy to do my part. And it's awesome, and like it's pretty beautiful city, yeah.
It's amazing. Yeah, I went and took a walk, like a half-hour walk north of where I'm staying, and we went. It's Lake Okanagan.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah,
Like
look at you.
Okanagan.
You sound like a local.
Whoa, Lake Okanagan, which there's elevation, there's mountains, and there's a big body of water. I think the sun was right in the perfect place, and I was like, how did I go from Anchorage, which is like very, very like ungodly picturesque,
untouched.
to this? Like I can't. Yeah, it's like I was like, how lucky I am right now. So,
Oh, dude,
yeah.
it's pretty wicked.
I mean, it's a feast for the eyes, is what it is that I'm getting this week. So,
Did you hear about Ogopogo?
no, what's a Ogopogo? Somebody mentioned it. I didn't.
Seriously?
Yeah.
So somebody said it in
Somebody
passing.
put
and
it
you're like,
in a comment. There's a look out for Ogopogo. I'm like, whoa, what did I just get into?
Ogopogo is basically the Okanagan's Loch Ness monster.
Okay.
Okay, so in this area, the First Nations folks have been here since time immemorial.
Yes.
And one of the oldest legends is of this almost like, I guess, lake dragon. And that's Ogopogo. So, yeah.
Have you seen Ogopogo?
I've not.
Okay.
But I believe in it. I think it's there.
I believe in all the cryptids.
Yeah?
Jersey Devil first and foremost.
What's the Jersey? What's that?
The Legend of Jersey Devil said
I know the hockey team.
Yeah, there's a woman in New Jersey, and she was cursed, and her 13th kid, she birthed a ungodly creature that came out of her womb and flew away, and there's the Jersey Devil. It's kind of a goat-like creature, stands on its hind legs, and it's a winged creature. It's got horns.
And you believe in this one?
Oh yeah, for sure.
And
Lives
so,
in the
because
pine.
you've seen it?
I haven't seen it personally, but I've met people who have.
It's not doing film selection for like Kevin Smith's like movie theater, is it? That's why we didn't get in?
I called Ernie O'Donnell the devil when he didn't get us in.
I'm just
but
kidding.
it does not. Yeah, he does not select the films at the Smart Castle Film Festival.
That's hilarious.
Or she, but I believe it's a male. I don't know. Maybe it's. I don't know. Maybe it's homogenous, but yeah, it lives in the Pinelands of New Jersey, which is a very rural area of South Jersey.
And do people have photos of this thing?
Like blurry photos? Yeah,
Oh,
like
of course, the blurry photos.
There's no Patterson video, like Bigfoot, but there's some blurry photos.
And is it so
sometimes
like
people hear ungodly screams in the middle of the night? They're like, oh, it must be the Jersey Devil. Yeah, that's a good one. Loch Ness Monster, definitely believe in that one.
I believe in Loch Ness. Yeah,
Bigfoot, believe in Bigfoot. Yeah, they're
Bigfoot around here, like Sasquatch, is like also something that's prominent to like local lore. Here they're called the big men of the mountains.
big men in the mountains.
Yeah. So, but yeah, man, I believe in that stuff.
Yeah, for sure.
Like,
yeah,
why not?
yeah, why not? For sure.
This is like the world we live in.
It is. Yeah, yeah. You can never be too careful. They live among us, my friends. We're not alone. We're not alone.
Not in this part. Yeah,
for sure. And then we're not done after all that. This weekend, 10th anniversary of Northern FanCon. Everybody,
it's gonna be a hoot.
there we
for
go.
sure.
Celebrating a
Boom.
decade of Northern FanCon, May through the 5th in Prince George, British Columbia. Definitely cheers to 10 years.
Cheers.
Yeah. Do you remember 2014 putting on the first one?
Well, it's 2015.
15. Okay.
And yeah, I remember. It's funny because for any of those folks out there who are con organizers or
yeah, we got a few watching right
con
now.
Teams,
yeah.
And I think that's a lot of folks follow you that are like in that
that
sphere,
world.
right?
Yeah,
like,
sure. Oh yeah.
We actually we put this convention together, and I was like, oh man, it's gonna be amazing, and we didn't know what we were doing. Like we actually ended up, there was, William Shatner was our anchor guest for the first year. And his agent rep started asking us questions. And I'm like, oh my God, we're not set up for any of this. He's like, well, what are you doing with this? And
so what about line control? Line what?
No, none of it.
What are we controlling?
None of it. Dude, on the first year, we weren't even set up to do 8x10 photos.
Oh, okay. You kind of need those.
So we had nothing. Anyways, we figured it all out, and he was very generous and gracious, and he was like, you know what? Here's what you got to do, and bam, 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 bam.
He gave me advice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and I think in life that's like been, something that always just kind of happens along the way. Is like if you don't know, you just got to ask somebody who knows.
Right. And they've probably been through the same thing, so they'll tell you.
Totally.
They'll tell you what to do so you don't make the same mistake they did.
Oh, dude. Yeah. And I mean, like that first year, like this is Prince George. Yep. So for maybe folks that don't know, Prince George is a town of 80,000 people in northern British Columbia. It's pretty remote.
Yeah.
Our first year's guests were William Shatner,
okay,
Giancarlo Esposito,
okay,
Jewel State,
okay,
John Delancey, Michael Hogan, Gigi Edgley.
Yeah.
Like, so there was like a huge
lineup
for like
dude.
a first year.
It's an awesome lineup.
Not even like that's a crazy lineup for a first year show. And the fact that we had no idea what we were doing was like, but we
figured it out.
Yeah, man. We built the plane as we were flying it.
Yeah.
And then year 2 was more learning, and here we are 10 years later.
Yeah. So what made you do a year 2?
I mean, like I got the bug. Got the bug, right?
That was not bad. That was good. Let's do it even better.
Do you know what? Here's the thing: is like because a convention is a beautiful space. It's empowering. It's inclusive. Anybody can be anything they want. Yep. You're like you can walk in there and you make a million friends.
Yeah.
And so what's kind of driven me personally, and I know like our team as well, is. Like you're creating those moments in that space for people.
Yeah.
It's a really beautiful thing, right? It's never paid off for us like in, huge dollars or any of that kind of stuff, but that's not what it should be about in the first place.
Yeah. No, I wholeheartedly agree. I think that's the problem with some of these other conventions is that they do concentrate on the almighty dollar.
Oh, yeah.
And they forget that this is supposed to be fun.
Yeah.
And it's not fun. People get there like, I don't feel like I'm not having fun. I feel like they're trying to get all the dollars out of my wallet. And like, that's not fun. That's not fun.
No,
so,
and that's...
Yeah, I've never felt that way about Northern FanCon. Northern FanCon is concentrated on the fun. And, I've been hearing this term through lately, which is called core memory. It's one of those memories that you never forget about throughout your life.
I love it.
And I think at Comic-Cons, that's where you make a lot of these core memories for sure.
Totally.
Yeah.
Totally. I mean... It's funny because I enjoy going to conventions. Like that's how I got into it in the first place.
I can tell, and then you can tell whether the people throwing a con enjoy going to the convention.
Yeah,
yep, because they know they're just little things like, oh, okay, this guy's been to a con before.
Yeah,
yeah.
But so I mean, like I there's nothing that drives me more crazy than going to a convention and they have these line barriers where it's like. Unless you're buying something, you can't go up and talk to the guest.
No. That's
the dumbest thing I've ever seen in my life.
I agree. It was like, all right, listen, autographs aren't cheap.
No.
Sometimes you've blown all your money trying to just get to the con and get in. And, your favorite person's 5 feet away from you, and you can't go up and say hi to them. Like, I think that I think that's asinine. And then who knows? That person might be better financially off a year or two from them. They'll remember that you were nice to them. They'll totally go and buy something from you.
Well, I mean, even like you get to that front of that line, and you get to talk to that person, and maybe you do buy the autograph or whatever, the photo or whatever. But I mean, like the thing is you shouldn't be bound by a purchase just to go and talk to someone.
Yeah. No, I agree.
Right?
I agree.
So we leave it open.
I agree.
For FanCon. We're just like, if you want to go up and chat with somebody, go ahead, man.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, that's always been the way with me, but I'm the other way around. I'm like, dude, come up. I want to hear I want to hear your story. I mean, this is why I love conventions, because when we were younger, none of this was cool, right?
Yeah.
So it was very isolating.
Yeah.
You didn't put it out in public that you liked Wolverine, the X-Men, Spider-Man, Star Wars, any of this stuff that's cool now. And so if you don't put it out there, you don't meet other people who might also like stuff like that. And then we got made fun of for that. We were told that comics are to little kids, and we were made fun of mercilessly at times. So it was very isolating. And eventually maybe you found 2 or 3 people who liked the same thing you did, and you formed your own crew, but you didn't tell anybody about it, or you were on the fringe, and maybe people left you alone, and you're off to. But you're always kind of looked on as, those are the nerd kids, those are the Star Wars kids.
That's what makes it that much cooler, though.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
it's
but
like
now,
we're in the elite club, and now it's kind of opened up, and it's got chic to it.
But the whole time I was like, dude, Wolverine, adamantium. The Professor X's School for the Gifted and Talented is cool. Like, everybody should know about this. And it took them a little while to catch up, but then they found out about it, and now it's cool. And I love walking into a building where there are thousands of people that don't give me that blank stare anymore. When I launch into something that I'm really into at the moment,
dude,
it's great.
And
I feel like that at Northern FanCon.
And that's awesome. That's what it's about, right? That Deadpool trailer.
Yeah.
Like, chills when he's like, let's fucking go.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, just seeing that even come out of the mouth. Mm-hmm. Gold, buddy. Gold.
Can't wait. And hey, Ryan Reynolds, a Canadian.
Yep. He's Van City Reynolds.
That guy gets it, man.
Yeah.
I always like it when these big stars kind of latch onto and promote a geek themed project. Usually it works out pretty well. I was kind of hoping for the same thing for Black Adam, which didn't really materialize.
Yeah, it didn't land as well, for sure.
Didn't land as well. That guy kind of fought for that too. And,
he totally did. Well, the same way that Reynolds did for Deadpool.
Right. So I was hoping for the same result. And, you win some, you lose some.
I think it's like taking the
even The Rock loses sometimes.
Yeah. I mean, did he really lose, though?
No. He didn't.
The Rock never loses.
The Rock never loses.
What is the final boss thing? I keep hearing about it. Do you know what that is?
As in, is that like it's something he's working on?
Yeah.
No, but I like the sound of it.
Well, so I just saw an interview.
We always fight a final boss in life, so.
I saw an interview with him, and he was like, he was talking about everything that's next for him, because he's doing an A24 film.
Okay.
You know this, right? Like, so it's like, it's going to be edgy as fuck.
Right.
But he was talking about, like, his next chapter is him, like, he's doing this A24 film, and he's got this final boss thing, and I was just like, I don't know. I was like, I got to figure out what that is, but I'm like, is there people in the chat that know what this final boss thing is? Can somebody just tell us?
Yeah, someone will tell us. I do want to give a shout out. Ryan Funk here is like, hi, Ming, welcome to Kelowna. See you at the comic shop tomorrow.
Yay!
So, all right, Ryan.
Funk.
Ryan, I'll be bringing a bunch of cool stuff to the shop. I got DVDs, I got pins, I got 8x10s, I got comics, or I just got good conversation.
Yeah, are you in comics? Is there comics with you in them?
In a way, yes. So I have 2 comics with me.
Okay.
One was when Comic Book Men came out, as you know, and as you wrote, a very nice press release about my arrival here in Kelowna. So, usually when you launch a TV series, you send out a press release to all the press outlets so they know what it is. AMC got very smart. They're like, well, we're going to do ours in the form of a comic book.
That's so smart.
And they did. They sent out the press outlets. I got 1 copy of it. I was like, I would like 1 million of these.
Yeah.
Because it looks legit. And years later, I got my hands on a bunch of them, so I bring them to me.
And you have them with you?
I have them with me.
You sell them?
I sell them.
Oh,
yeah.
dang!
Yeah, because I don't need 100 copies. I need maybe 5.
Yeah.
Have that. The other comic I have is even cooler. I was just kind of rummaging around the AMC website one day, trying to be a hacker. I found this folder full of comic book pages with us in them. And it is all based on the animated intro. And so there's not really any dialogue and no story per se, but it's this really, really great artwork of like how we became our characters. So you don't even need the dialogue. And I was like, whoa, why are you hiding this from us? Like, why is this in this weird folder? I emailed them. I was like, "What is this? What are you doing with it? Like, who's the artist?"
Yeah.
I never got a reply.
Really?
So
so it's like origin stories, kind of.
Sort of, yeah.
Yeah.
So I grabbed all the artwork. I had it for a while, and then one day I was like, "Wait, there's 24 pages here, formatted for a comic book.
Huh.
Why don't I just print this out as a comic book?" And I did. So that's with me at conventions now too.
Dude,
So, yeah,
that's awesome.
yeah. And then I don't know why it took so long, but maybe about 6 months ago, I was like, "Idiot! Why don't you just write your own book?
Oh, dude.
Write your own comic."
And
You're a
that's
comic
never
book
occurred to you
man.
before?
No, I don't know why.
What would you do though? Like,
Well, that was a problem. I had, of course, I want to come up with the next huge superhero that becomes like a Netflix series and gets in its own universe and makes $1 billion at the box office. If I had
sounds awesome.
If I had that character, I would have written it by now. But I don't.
you don't have any idea of what would you do?
Like as far as a superhero character, no, not really.
Because you must have like a zillion friends who are actually really awesome comic book artists too,
Yes. Yeah.
right? Like
yeah.
you know Jim Lee?
I know Jim Lee. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, if I had enough money, like he would probably consider like doing some artwork for me.
Who would be like a comic book artist that's a little bit more kind of accessible that you'd work with? You know Jim Mahfood?
Oh, I know Jim Mahfood. Yeah, Jim Mahfood actually drew the very first Clerks comic that ever came out.
He's a
I
super
like it.
gifted dude, man.
Yeah, I love that his comics kind of look like superhero, but also like street art, like graffiti.
It's
These
like
thick
it reminds
outlines.
me of Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas.
Yeah, for sure, yeah. Jim was someone I would definitely consider. I talked to Jay Lee recently. I'd love for him to do a cover.
Dude, that guy is like sick.
Yeah, I'll probably also out of my price range, but I was like, okay, listen, you know artists. Publishing a book yourself is not hard at all. Because
a lot easier.
I learned that by printing I learned how to print my own comic. I didn't create it, but I learned how to print it. That's easy. So all you gotta do is write it and format it, and then producing it, even getting the money. I started helping out these people who are kickstarting their comics.
Yeah.
And I was like, wait, I could do this.
Totally.
I could crowdfund a comic. So all he needed was a story, and I took a page out of Kevin's book, in which he tells everyone, was like, well, just write what you know. That's what I did. I wrote a day in the life of a comic book clerk, and called it Clerks. I wrote a day in the life of a comic book geek, called it Mallrats. And I was like, well, what stories do I have that I can tell? I was like, dude, you've had so many wacky convention adventures.
Totally. That's what it should be.
That you could chronicle them in, as long as keep going to conventions, an ongoing series of events that happen.
Yeah.
So,
Comic Chronicles.
People were like, what are you going to call it? And I came with some big flowery names. And they're like, idiot, why don't you just call it Con Man?
Oh, well, but I mean, like that's like Alan Tudyk has
He
Con
did.
Man.
So if I add,
the other Con Man.
Or I'll write it in Chinese. Like I don't know, I'll figure it out. I'll figure it out. His children ain't even on anymore. So
Yeah.
but even fellow guest Ross Marquand, like we've gotten into so many weird adventures at 5 a.m. That'll
That
go
guy's
in
a
there.
beauty.
Yeah. The time that Stan Lee mistook me for Jim Lee, that's going in there. The time I met Ki Kwan, the guy from the
nice.
guy
Is he
played
nice?
Short Round from Temple of Doom.
Yeah.
Actually, you want to hear? Here, I'll tell you the story. Give you guys a teaser of a story that will go in the book. I did get to meet him a couple times, but the first time I met him, my friend Mitch, who runs a con called Terrificon in Connecticut. Mitch was well known for having an Indiana Jones podcast. Over 300 episodes of a movie that had come out like 30 years before.
Yeah.
And we always busted his balls. I'm like, what are you going to talk about now? The big boulder again, like that? Or it's like, what could you possibly talk about for that many episodes? But he was so passionate, he was able to do it. But he also threw a con, and he called me one day. He's like, dude, you'll never believe where I got coming this year.
Shut up.
I'm like, who? I was like, I got him. I got Ki Kwan to come. I'm like, no way, man.
And this is recently then?
It was about 7 years ago.
Okay, so it's before his resurgence.
Before he won the Oscar, yeah.
Yeah.
And I was like, how the hell did you get him to come? I was like, well, my wife gave me permission, and we opened up the wallet, and he's coming. And I was like,
wow.
This is great. I get to meet him this year. So, so I'm in the green room, and I was fanboying, man. And I don't fanboy very often, but Ki Kwan, the guy who played Data in Goonies, the guy who played Short Run and
Yeah.
Temple of Doom. When those movies came out, he was my age, stood toe to toe with Harrison Ford and Corey Feldman and Sean Astin and Josh Brolin, and and in my mind was even bigger than those guys.
Yeah.
Because that was the guy, my hero. That's the guy I would have loved to play on screen. So I told him all of this. He was like, cool. I was like, he's like, what do you do? He's like, I'm on this TV show. He was like, hey, tell me about it. I don't watch a lot of TV, so can you tell me about it? And I told him about Comic Book Men, and he seemed genuinely interested. He's like, cool. He's like, hey, you ever get out to LA? I'm like, yeah, 2 or 3 times a year. I'm like, why? He's like, hey, well, that's where I live. Here, take down my number. Next time you're in town, shoot me a text or a call. Let's have dinner next time you're in LA.
No way.
And I'm like, no shit. I was like, all right, I'll take your number. And so I was like, for a while, I was like, cool, man. I got Coyne's number, man. But I was like, he's just being nice. He's just being nice.
That's it? Like you didn't look him up?
Well, of course I did. So I was about 4 months later, I'm in LA, and I'm like, you know what? Let's just text him. Let's see if he really wanted to have dinner or not.
And that's 7 years ago.
That was about 7 years ago. Yeah, I texted him. I was like, hey, man, what's going on? I was like, hey, what's up? I was like, hey, I'm in LA. He's like, really? He's like, you have dinner tomorrow? I'm like, yeah. How's 7:30 sound? We went to a Chinese restaurant. Called Din Tai Fung in Sherman Oaks, California.
Yeah.
He brought his wife. I brought my friend.
Had a great dinner. That's awesome.
3 hours. We talked about everything but movies and TV, just life, and talk about conventions, talk about the convention world, and talk about a core memory as I talk about like that. Yeah, that was awesome.
That was cool.
Buddy. That was cool. Fast forward, another 6 years or so, 7 years, and he's at the it's Oscar day. He's been nominated for an Oscar. Just won a Golden Globe. He's he's kind of back in the film world, and on Oscar night, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna text him.
You did? You texted him to congratulate him?
Oscar morning. I was like, hey man, great luck tonight. I bet you look great in the tux. And immediately he replies,
shut up.
He's like, thanks, buddy. I missed you. I hope we see each other soon. That. Like, dude, it's
That's
Oscar.
gold.
It's Oscar morning. I'm sure he's doing, getting prepped and maybe writing a speech just in case, getting fitted for a talks. He's got a million things going on, but he took the time to text me back.
That's
immediately.
Awesome. I love that.
And so that night when he won, it was huge. It's huge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And did you congratulate him after?
I did.
Yeah.
I did. Yeah. Of
and
course.
he responded.
Or
he was like, "No, I'm
not right away. He was partying. But I just love that he was back as Ouroboros and Loki 2.
Yes.
And I hear we're working on some really cool action movie right now. So yeah, it's pretty cool, man.
Yeah, that's rad.
Pretty cool. But yeah, that story's going in the comic for sure.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm going to step off.
Okay.
I'm going to grab another club soda.
Okay.
And I'm going to grab somebody over here.
I just met one of the coolest guys in Kelowna.
Yeah.
For sure.
So I think he'd get a kick out of maybe sitting in for a little bit.
Okay, cool.
So.
We got 3 mics, so we can all play here, my friends. We can all sit here. So yeah, that was my story. So that's just one of many amazing con adventure stories that'll be coming up in the Comic Con Adventures of Ming Chen, Con Man. I guess that's the working title now. If Alan Tudyk doesn't sue me. I've met him at conventions, so there's a chance he might not sue me. I don't know. We'll see. I'll plead ignorance. I didn't know you had a TV show. Meanwhile, I've seen every episode several times. So here comes Norm. I'm gonna zoom out a little bit so I can get all 3 of us. So.
Oh no, dude, I'm good. Just
good?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, we are not changing the frame. We all of us are coming over here. Coming to the stage live is our friend Lonnie. Everybody, Lonnie. Oh, we'll talk about this. What's up, my friend?
Hey.
How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
You had a very cool weekend. You just got back from Calgary. Is it called
Expo.
Calgary Fan Expo? Is that what they're calling it now? It's be called the Calgary Toy and Comic Expo.
It started off as the Calgary Comic and Entertainment Expo.
Yes.
And then they changed it to the Calgary Expo because Fan Expo is the one that now runs the show.
Yeah.
So now it's just Calgary Expo.
Yeah, and you go every year, and immediately we started geeking out.
I've been going since day one that they decided to expand it.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
It's held at the fairgrounds where they do the Stampede over
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
Takes over like 4 buildings.
Yeah, they've condensed it now just to 2, and
Okay.
then next year it'll be 1 because they have a brand new building.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
so-
The year I was there, I think Stan Lee got his own building.
Yeah.
Like the building 4 was designated the Stan Lee building.
Yeah, that was the building to go to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's amazing. That's cool. Was there anyone there you were to meet? Like, what's your process at Calgary Fan Expo or Calgary Expo? Do you cosplay?
I used to.
Okay.
Yeah. A couple years ago, I would do Spider-Man. That was pretty common.
Oh man. Okay. You got the shape for it. So
Yeah. And then I usually go for like friends, cosplay, some art.
Yeah.
Depending on the guests, but the lineups for the guests are always crazy.
Pretty big. Yeah. You're waiting. For the bigger guests, you're waiting. 1, 2, 3, 4 hours sometimes.
Lucked out and got a photo op and an autograph with Gina Carano.
Oh man. Okay.
Yeah, and she's a gem.
Yeah.
Gem. So
Yeah. For sure.
that was pretty cool. My kids got to meet her. My girlfriend got a chance to experience her first big con. So
That's cool.
That was pretty sweet.
That's cool. Yeah. Gene, badass in the ring.
Yep.
Badass
Yep.
in the Mandalorian.
Yep.
I mean, just a badass. In
Yeah,
general.
she was a class act.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
That's
that
cool.
was pretty cool.
Yeah, that was one I had wanted to go to for a while, and you gotta be kind of a rock star to get in. And so one year, Kevin, someone that we know, that was Kevin and Jay were going to appear.
Yeah.
And Jay's wife was like, "Hey, I'll see if I can get you in this year." And she talked to them. She was like, "All right, I got you in, but there are some stipulations." I'm like, "Okay, I don't care what are they?" She's like, "All right, you're gonna have to split a table with Jay." I'm like, "Okay, I don't care. Just give me a little sliver."
Yeah, a little spot.
And she's like, "All right, he's kind of particular, so you got to play by his rules." I'm like, I don't care. Just I've been invited to the party, and
Yep.
it turned out I got my own table. So,
Hey.
but the treatment they gave us was like.
Red carpet.
It was it was great.
Yeah.
They really ran a great convention
They
there.
do a good show.
Yeah,
they do.
And the city's awesome. I got unpartied, met new people, hung out with old friends. We just talked about one of our favorite dim sum places
Yep.
in
Yep.
Calgary, which is 24/7. May have some organized crime connections.
Possibly,
Yeah.
likely, definitely.
Yeah, especially when I rolled in there at 8:30 in the morning, and there were people that I may have recognized to be Chinese mobsters.
Yep.
Just from watching
They're real.
Chinese mob movies. I'm like, why is this so full at 8:30 on a Sunday?
Yeah.
Yeah, but man, that food was good. So big shout out to you and me, dim sum.
They make some good grub. That's
so
for
good.
sure.
Yeah. I was like, wait, this place is 24/7. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, really cool, really cool. Yeah, and so you just blasted through the whole weekend then.
Yeah, we did Friday and Saturday solid.
Okay.
Yeah, we were there all day for both days.
Oh, the con you after hours as well. Did you get to those friends after?
Yeah, Saturday night we did our. There's a group called the Calgary Toshi Station.
Oh man, okay.
And so it's a
Star Wars.
Star Wars social group, and honestly, just probably the best people in the world.
Yeah.
They're just solid people, and we hung out with them on Saturday night. And
That's cool. Did you meet them at the con previously?
yeah, actually, the first time that the Calgary Expo went larger. The first guest was Peter Mayhew.
Yeah.
And that's actually how I got into the group of friends
Yeah.
through the Toshi Station. So
Yeah, we were. I was just seeing Peter Mayhew came on Comic Book Men, so
nice.
And then I would see him at conventions.
Yeah.
Him and his wife Angie, who just like an amazing couple.
They're the nicest people in the world.
Yeah, they are. They're very charitable, but they're very love their fans, love hanging out with their fans.
Yeah.
Loved all the fan art and everything that they were given. I think Peter had a separate building on his property in Dallas, which was all filled with all the gifts that people gave him, all the fan art.
Yeah,
I
you need a
think he
separate
kept all of
building.
it. Yeah. Yeah, it was pretty cool. And it was said when he passed, which I think was almost 5 years ago today.
It was it
Or-
was I can't remember when,
recently.
but it was a few years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. He said it was coming from Texas to Calgary. It was almost like not much of a change.
Yeah.
Because the people and the lifestyle is so similar.
Yeah, a couple cowboys up there
Yeah.
in Calgary.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, I just sparked a really good Peter Mayhew memory. We did con in Houston, Texas one year. My friend had this really great coffee and breakfast place that was in North Houston and on the way back to Dallas. So one of his guys, Ryan, was like, "Hey, we're driving back to Dallas. You're a man who would know. Do you have any good breakfast places we could stop at on the way home?" And I'm like, "Yes, as a matter of fact, I do. My friend owns this place called Morning Star. You guys should stop by." So the whole crew rolled in there, and I gave my friends a heads up that Chewbacca was coming to have breakfast that morning. And they rolled in, and they were. Food was great. They had a great time. Took a big group photo at the end. And then when they left, the whole staff was like, "Okay, now we can geek out, right?" I'm like, yeah. What I love about Peter Mayhew, no matter where he went, like a restaurant or whatever, he would always have a stack of 8x10s for the staff. Yeah. And he would sit there like, "All right, what's your name? Here you go. What's your name?" Yeah. He would.
Oh, that's cool.
He would take care of everybody.
Yeah.
Because he knew.
Yeah.
Of course you want the sign. Of course you want the autograph.
Of course.
Of course you want the photo.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like you shouldn't. Yeah, he knows that. You shouldn't even have to ask for it. Just we know you want it.
You know what you're there for.
Yeah, and here it is. So gem of a man,
Yeah.
sorely missed.
Yeah,
but I think for like you said, brought a lot of people together.
Yeah, he did. He had just that big bear energy.
Yeah,
for his entire career.
Yeah, for sure.
So yeah,
when you did cosplay, did you have a main one?
I did actually. One of my first ones was Mandalore the Ultimate. That's getting pretty heavy nerdy for Star Wars side of things.
Yeah, that's a deep cut.
Yeah. But Spider-Man became a main.
Yeah. Okay. A little more comfortable. Less
sometimes
parts.
Yeah. Going to the bathroom wasn't the easiest thing in the world.
It's one. Yeah.
It was a one piece. I didn't have no zipper garage in the front. So
no. It's that's complicated.
Yeah.
But to get that seamless look.
Yes. Pun intended.
That's how it has to be.
Yeah, I do have a Deadpool one, which is easier to wear.
Yeah.
So, but I do have a new Spider-Man costume, which I got a couple years ago.
Okay.
So the mask comes off and it's detachable, and the gloves can kind of peel away.
Right.
Makes it easier for driving.
You can text with it.
Yeah.
That's cool. I was gonna ask you what your main fandom was, but I'm gonna, I can take a wild guess here. You got a Millennium Falcon tattoo.
Yeah, but I've also got Iron Man and Spider-Man on my calves. So
which wins out if you had to pick?
If I had to pick, I'm gonna go with OG with the Star Wars.
Yeah,
I grew up with that.
Yeah, I did too.
Yeah.
I did too.
So I got introduced to Star Wars first before the comics started to roll in.
Yeah.
So, and plus, I was born the same year.
77.
77.
Wow, okay.
Yeah.
You don't look a day over 97.
Yeah, I'll take that.
Yeah, you should. Yeah, but if you were born in 97, you wouldn't have experienced all that.
Definitely. Well,
I mean, you would have eventually. But,
for the revival.
Yeah, but I think there's something special about us. I was around during that time. I was in the theater that year as well.
Yeah.
I think there's something special about watching those through in the 80s. Then, after Empire or after Return of the Jedi, there really wasn't much Star Wars out there anymore. Yeah, they did droids and did Ewoks.
Yeah, you had your cartoons, and then that was it. It was just expanded universe material. The books, the comics, the video games. That was the only thing that kept it alive for 35 years.
Yeah, and then even the toys dried up because there was nothing to make stuff out. There's some micro machines out there that I wasn't really into. And so when it came back, I appreciated it even
came
more
back with a vengeance.
Because I thought it was gone forever.
No, they came back with Phantom Menace, and that was it. Floodgates opened back.
Yeah, for sure. Now there's probably more Star Wars than there ever has been. And
Way
I'm here
more.
for all of it.
Yeah, some of it's hit and miss.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of good stuff.
A lot of good stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, you should be watching all of it. Bad Batch.
Bad
Rebels.
Batch. The first season of Bad Batch was scattered. The second and third are phenomenal.
Yeah. Which you mentioned in Calgary, Ashley Eckstein and D. Bradley Baker were there.
Yep.
So the people who brought those characters to life. It's so good.
100%.
And D. Bradley Baker's done he does every voice.
All the clones.
He's
everything.
Man of many, many talents.
Yeah. Yeah.
For sure.
He's like the Lon Chaney of voices.
Yeah, of like geek voices. For sure. Is there anything you're excited about coming up? I was trying to think of like the upcoming slate of movies. They've been still kind of teasing Fantastic Four, which I Hope they get right this time, finally.
Yeah, there was some grumblings ages ago that Mads Mikkelsen was attached to being Mr. Fantastic.
Yeah.
And he walked out of the reading saying that it was just garbage. So
Okay, not a good sign.
Not a good sign, but now they got new writers, they got a new director.
They
So
got Pedro Pascal.
yeah. So I don't know. I feel like they're just taking a lot of popular names right now.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't know what to make of Fantastic Four.
Yeah, here's my thing. It was the one that launched Stan Lee, basically. It was the one that was a story where he was about to quit writing comics, and his wife Joni was like, why don't you write one more? Write the one that you want to write.
Yeah.
You're leaving anyways, so just do the one that you want to do. And it was Fantastic Four.
Of course.
And then he couldn't leave.
It's got to be something like that.
Then he couldn't leave. So, and that's the one I feel they really should get right. I was hoping they would do a really good one before he died, so he could see his vision come to life. But they really screwed.
Not too sure about Shal Ball being the surfer.
Yeah,
who should be Norin Rad, but
yes, I agree.
The internet has spoken very loudly about it should be Norin Rad, but
I wholeheartedly agree.
Yeah, so she had a cameo appearance, and that was it. And now she's the main surfer. I don't quite understand it. I do, but it doesn't work.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
Yeah, for sure.
Girlfriend and I just finished Fallout.
Oh, yeah.
It's fantastic.
Yeah.
It was so good.
Yeah.
Halo, take note. That's how you do a video game adaptation.
Yep.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, I felt Fallout like they couldn't screw up. Man, the outcry, if they,
It was good. Last episode of Bad Batch drops tomorrow, and then X-Men is still going now.
Oh, yeah, X-Men 97 has been
so
phenomenal.
Good. It is so good.
Phenomenal.
So, yeah, there's plenty to geek out about, and then we've got some more material. Tales of the Jedi's coming.
Yeah, starring a Northern FanCon guest, Ross Marquand, everybody.
Ooh, yeah.
The voice of Professor X.
There we go.
Yeah. A secret that he had to keep for about 2 years. 2 years he couldn't.
Painful secret.
And him as a very big geek.
Yeah.
You imagine you get cast as an X, a voice of one of the X-Men. Or the X-Man.
Yeah, and you can't talk about it.
You can't tell anybody. You can't tell your geek friends. You can't tell your fans.
Yeah.
Can't tell anyone because you're bound to secrecy.
That's like you just won Survivor, and now you got to not talk about it for the next 6 months.
Yeah, I can't talk about it.
Brutal.
Yeah, for sure. Do you go to any other conventions, or I know that's probably the big one, right? That's kinda like
there's one in Vernon this weekend. It's actually on May the 4th.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So
I forgot that was coming up. Like it snuck up on me very, very quickly.
Gets in there fast. Yeah, so we'll probably do that in the morning.
Oh, cool.
And then I heard there's a pretty good one in Prince George.
Yeah, pretty good. I hear it's great. So,
yeah, it's
for sure.
It's got a great lineup. So a pretty good lineup for such a small event.
Yeah.
So that's pretty awesome.
It's incredible. And Bill Pullman, everybody.
Yeah, Prince George. Geez, Kelowna's got nothing on that.
Oh, I think that's being worked on, though.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
I see a very awesome convention here in Kelowna in the very near future.
It's a small but mighty, so we're hoping for some magic this year.
Yeah, are you born and raised here?
No. Born in Germany, raised on Vancouver Island. I was a military brat.
Right.
So
how'd you wind up here?
Didn't want to sit on my duff in Calgary anymore during COVID, so started a plumbing apprenticeship when I came out here.
Oh wow, okay.
So, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't know what to expect. Didn't know much about Kelowna. Took a very long walk this afternoon, and I'm hooked.
It's mixed. It's different. Beach town.
Yeah, I think I'm in love with it, and I haven't even seen a lot of it yet.
The weather is desirable.
Yeah, it's pretty great.
I got messages from friends this morning. Calgary just got a big dump of snow.
No, so you got out of there just
2 days ago. It was plus 20.
Wow. Yeah, and and I love that they're geeks here. So
yes, there's lots here.
So thank you for this.
Of course, thank you.
Yeah, thank you. 18.9. So how long have you been here?
I've been with the company for 3 years.
3 years. Okay.
Yeah.
Great. This is a great place.
Yeah.
The food's phenomenal.
I didn't make it, but I talk about it.
Hats off to the chef. Some days you just want wings, right?
Yeah.
Today was the day, and
they did not disappoint.
No, they're
awesome.
Perfectly spiced.
Nice.
And then poutine, I can't get good poutine in New Jersey, so
we've had compliments from people from Quebec saying that our poutine's pretty damn good.
Yeah, and you don't mess with their poutine.
No.
For sure.
So, well, thanks for having me on.
Yeah,
this
dude.
is my first podcast.
Oh man, you did great, and I know you've got one in you, my friend.
All right.
Yeah, I mean we could. Oh yeah, we could break down the original trilogy. That's a podcast. We could
all day.
Yeah, we got Rebels, Clone Wars.
Yeah, my girlfriend and I talked about starting our own podcast.
How many lightsabers do you own?
One.
Which one?
Vader's.
Okay, the Star Wars Black Series. I'm going to assume. Or,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That was the one I started out with. Then I got the Luke Skywalker, A New Hope one.
Yeah, got to complete the set.
Then I got the Luke Skywalker, Return of the Jedi one. Then I think I'm up to 6 or 7 now.
Nice.
My latest one, I bought the Mandalorian Darksaber at New York Comic Con. Got a really good deal on that one.
That's a good buy.
And then if you haven't been, obviously either of the Galaxy's Edges.
I have not, but my girlfriend has rubbed it in my face a few times.
Oh,
she's been. Yeah.
She didn't take you.
I know. Well, we're still talking about that.
Yeah.
So.
It took me a while. I finally got to go about a year ago. Mind-blowing experience. Here's my mistake. I went to Doc Ondar's where they sell the lightsabers.
Yeah.
And I really wanted the Darth Maul lightsaber. And it was even on sale. I was like, Disney doesn't put stuff on sale. They don't need to. It was on sale. And for some stupid reason, I was like, all right, I'm going to buy half of it now. And I'll get the other half later when I come back someday. I have this thing, we're collectors, right? So I have this thing that if I buy too much at the same time, I don't appreciate it.
Is that how you bought the Darth Maul action figure? Is the half now, half later?
Yeah, no, but that's how I should have. Yeah, that's how I should have. It got on layaway.
Yeah.
So I took that half home, and immediately I got home. Immediate regret. I'm like, idiot. Why didn't you just buy both ends?
Yeah, yeah.
And so I'm trying to get the other end. You can only kind of get it there, or pay
it's
a heavy aftermarket price.
Yeah.
So a year later, though, my friend, he's like, hey, I'm going to Galaxy's Edge. I'm like, how much room you got in your suitcase?
Just get it.
And he got the other half for me.
Oh, so thank God.
James and Valerie, thank you for grabbing that second half for me.
Yeah.
So the lesson being, if you want something, just get it.
Yeah, don't do
just
the half now, half later.
Yeah, it's just money. You'll get it back.
Yeah, that's right. You can always make more.
You can always make more. So, thank you for the warm welcome here.
Of course.
And it's just good knowing there's some good, really awesome nerds that know their stuff here in Kelowna.
Fellow nerds here, definitely.
Yeah, for sure. Well, may the force be with you always.
Also with you.
Yes. Thank you. That's Lonnie, everybody. He's the first person I met here at 18.9 when I walked in. And immediately I was like, hey, where were you this weekend? Calgary. Like, well, there's only one reason to be in Calgary that long, and that's for Calgary Expo. If anybody there is listening, I would love to be invited back. Put me to work, but I had such a great time there.
I know the marketing lead.
Yeah, I'm just saying, I want to be the best con guest I can be, and I want to bring you my best Calgary. So, also, mini donuts. I need the mini donuts. Yeah, I'm just saying. We don't get many mini donuts in the States, so for sure. So, I think that'll do it for now here at 18.9. Thank you for watching, everybody, for hanging out with us during this live podcast here. Norm, I always love introducing the world to Norm Coyne because he does a lot of great things. Comic-Con producer, filmmaker above all else. He's just a great guy who he'll always come party with us. Like he's a guy who gets it. Big thank you to Sourpuss. I gotta get a Sourpuss cocktail now. They're working on several of them now. And big thank you to Lonnie 18.9. Also, if you are having to be around in the area tomorrow, maybe you need to pick up some new comics on Wednesday for New Comics Day. I will be at Okanagan Cards and Comics tomorrow from 2 to 6. Possibly longer. I'm still working on that. You don't have to take that. Yeah. I'm still going. Thank you though. And then this weekend I'll be in Prince George for Northern Fan Con with Bill Pullman, Mary McDonald, Mark Bernardin will be there. A huge litany of guests. Theo Rossi, Gigi Edgley. There's so many people. I'm starting to forget all of them. I'm not going to go down the whole list, but go to northernfancon.ca for tickets and info. And please come out. It's a really great convention celebrating its 10th year. So, but for now, from 18.9 Eatery in Kelowna, British Columbia, this is Ming, Chen, and I will see you guys soon. Thank you for watching.